Yo, what's happening, people? This is your match review for Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 1 at Selhurst Park today. Yes, it finished 1-1 at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace against Arsenal. The lineup today for Arsenal was unchanged. Hooray! Arsenal named an unchanged side for I don't know how long. Whether it's Arteta, whether it's Emery. It's been ages since we've actually been able to name a team unchanged. And not just because the team is a good side, but because they played very, very well the last match against Manchester United when we dominated the game and played them off the park. So if no one to see it, I'm not surprised to see it. I was happy that he actually did it. Thought he might have gone with a 4-3-3 in the middle of the park to maybe show up the midfield away from home, but no, he was happy with the squad and he went with it. He stuck with Ozil, Pepe, Aubameyang wide and Lacazette up top. And in terms of the game, actually dominated, especially that first half. Like, very, very much controlled the position of the game. Palace let us play football. I don't understand. Maybe it's part of their tactics of the game. They got a point out of it in the end, of course. But they let us have a lot of the ball, especially in that first sort of half an hour of the game. And we took advantage of that. David Luiz was just picking up balls, pinging it left, right. Xhaka doing the same as well. Torreira having lots of space in the middle and not really pressing us until we got sort of past the halfway line. And you can maybe say from the first part of the game it kind of worked because we didn't get anything necessarily from it, but it was patient. And you know, after a move of 18 passes or so, I think it was, we did get a ball down the middle. Lovely flick round from Lacazette and Aubameyang doing what Aubameyang does. Another goal for Aubameyang. 9 away goals now in the Premier League this season, joint with Vardy and Sterling. This week was named in the African Team of the Year as the best striker. And this is the reason why. He's a goal scorer. He's clinical, man. Not always in the game. Sometimes he's out wide. Sometimes he's up top. Today he was out wide. But his goal came from being more of an inside forward. And I think this is what I would like to see more of him. Okay, if you're going to play left wing, but link up inside. You know, you're a right-footed player playing on the right wing. So link up close. Your play with Lacazette is brilliant. So stay close to him, get the touches through, and that's literally exactly what happened today. Lacazette threaded the ball, and Aubameyang just one touch, and bang, it was 1-0. And it looked then on like it could be a tough day for Palace actually, but then Palace grew into the game, really. They stayed in their sort of positions. They stayed holding. I guess so that they didn't get open up and get sort of battered at home and sort of saw the way out to half-time. But just before half-time, there was a challenge in the Arsenal box. I think it was from Zaha. He pushed Torreira into Pepe, or Pepe into Torreira, and they sort of clashed and both went down. Torreira looked like he landed on his back, and it looks like, I don't know whether that was the actual decision. There was a few tackles flying in that first half, but Torreira got injured, maybe from that, maybe it was from something else, and he had to come off at half-time, and Guendouzi came on. And from when that happened, I did start to worry because I just felt like it just changed a little bit of the shape of Arsenal. Yes, Guendouzi's going to go and play in the sort of defensive midfielder role, but he likes a bit more freedom. He likes to sort of roam a bit more than Torreira and not entirely focus on just sitting and defending like Torreira did or playing sort of deep line. And we did lose a rhythm in the second half. Whether it was down to that, whether it was down to Palace stepping up the game and Roy Hodgson getting into them at half-time about pressing Arsenal because they pressed us a lot more higher up in the second half, or whether it was actually just Arsenal not playing the football that we played in the first half. We dropped off, giving away a lot of silly fouls. And then Palace got back into the game with Jordan Ayew. Bare free kicks Palace had that whole game. And every single free kick, whether it was on the edge of the box or on the halfway line, was being lofted in or being taken as if it was going to be lofted in. This time, we switched off, and they didn't loft it in. They played it down the side, and for me, Kolasinac gives the guy on the right wing too much space to cross the ball in. At that moment, when that ball's played down the side, Kolasinac has to close down more and stop the cross from coming in. He doesn't. He sort of wanders over to him, puts like a lazy foot out, and he doesn't get the ball. He sort of can't control it. Ball comes in, deflects off. I think maybe deflects off one of our players, and then Chiati sets it up for Ayew, who finishes. Well, he takes a shot which deflects off David Luiz and goes in the back of the net. Whether or not the shot was on target, whether or not it's going in, we don't know. It was quite close. It was quite close between David Luiz and Ayew, so you can't really tell what it was. I'd probably give it as an Ayew goal, and I think it is going to be given as an Ayew goal. But David Luiz's deflection did help it into the back of the net, and Leno helpless to stop that really. And that was unfortunate for Arsenal, but maybe Palace deserved it because they did start the second half better. Never really troubled Leno, but they had a lot more of the ball and did a lot more pressing and kind of deserved that, but not in terms of efforts on goal. And then the big part of the game, you lot's best friend, VAR. Palace at the start of the game held banners up to say end VAR, ruining the game, ruining the passion of the game. And then a challenge goes in from Aubameyang on the left wing, as I said, where he's playing. I think Maya has the ball, lays it off, and Aubameyang comes in late and fouls him. Now, on first viewing, it just looked like a foul. I was a bit surprised even that the yellow card came out. And then you see the challenge again, and you say, okay, fair enough, he's been booked. Poultini got that right. Fourth official got that right. Yellow card, he caught him. Can't disagree with that. It's a foul. And then he goes to a VAR review, and they look at the review, and they pause it, and they slow it down, and they still the image, and but Peter Walton comes on, who was the former Premier League referee, works for BT Sport, and says, at first glance you think it's a foul, then you see it again, and actually, referee's right to book him. Correct decision. So the referee agrees yellow card's right. The fourth official, who was standing right there, apparently initiated to the referee that he thinks is a yellow card as well. So, and then Peter Walton comes on. So you've got three different officials agreeing that a yellow card is the right decision. And then he goes to review, and to VAR review, as I said, they slow it down and they have a look, and then Aubameyang gets upgraded to a red card. Now, upon those still images, slowing it down in real time, you could see, yeah, that's a red card because of looking at that image or looking like it endangers an opponent. But for me, I've seen so many challenges this season not given that decision because it's not been slowed down at that speed to say it was a red card or not. And I don't think it was a red card to this day. I'll stand by this. I'll stand by Aubameyang, and not because he's our player, not because he plays for Arsenal. I just feel like in real time, he goes for the ball and he's late and he misses him and he catches Maya's foot. And it's a foul, it's a yellow card. But this is football, challenges will be flying in, and some people are going to get caught. And it looks worse because his foot kind of goes into the ground. But, I mean, he comes off injured, but he wasn't having the best game anyway, so I don't even know if he was pulled off. He went down again. It's interesting that he got up and started walking, and then once the VAR review was going on, he then went down again, injured, and then came off. So it's a little bit like, oh yeah, he is injured, Palace, but he is injured, VAR review, referees, by the way. It's a bad one, so you should send him off. And again, it was a long delay, and then the referee had to go out and change the yellow card, downgrade it, upgrade it to a red card, and Aubameyang got sent off. And then this is where you think Arsenal, okay, show me what Arsenal you got now. Whether you agree with it, whether you don't agree with it, let's see that Arsenal come out fighting, come out and show. So many times we go into 10 men and we sort of, I guess, bottle the game, throw away the game. Like I've seen it before when Maitland-Niles get sent off a few times and we've just dropped our heads. Maybe been a bit Palace. Maitland-Niles got sent off. But yeah, we dropped our. Oh no, that's Southampton. But yeah, we drop our heads and we don't push on. But today I felt like we done the right decision. He took off Ozil, brought on Martinelli, bit of fresh legs. Kind of went to a 4. Well, it was like a 4-2-3, 4-2-3 kind of thing. Martinelli wide, Pepe on the other wide, and Lacazette up top, and then you sort of Xhaka and Guendouzi in the middle. And Palace had a couple of half chances, but kind of always seeking out Zaha, who for me was handled all game by Maitland-Niles. I think he did very, very well against him. And then we had probably our best opportunity of the game after the goal. Ball came across, brilliant football from Martinelli. Across the box to Lacazette, who feeds it to Pepe. Pepe shot, well saved from Guaita. In real time, it looks like Pepe just hit his shot and hit the post, but actually Guaita, the Palace goalkeeper, gets a fingertip to it. It comes out, hits him on the back of the head, falls to Lacazette, who hits it on a snapshot, and Guaita makes himself big, and it's another great save. A lot of people saying Lacazette should have done better, he should have scored. For me, way too close to the goalkeeper to even say whether it is or not. Maybe in hindsight, he maybe could have dragged it back, could have dinked it. But, you know, as a striker, you see the ball there, you're going to just shoot. You're going to try to hit it, try to pull it in the corner. But for me, the goalkeeper does well. And if he stands up big and makes a save, then what more can you ask for? So, yeah, for me, big win. Big opportunity missed, but I don't blame the players for missing that chance. And then a few half chances for Palace, a few tackles being thrown in, not being reviewed by VAR, but it is what it is. As I said, listen, I would have been. Even the Palace bench weren't screaming in awe that it was going to be a red card. The Palace players weren't either, so it just ruined it a bit for me. And yeah, I just don't like to have VAR in the game. Personally, I want VAR to be ended ASAP. But yeah, listen, we'll take the point. Man of the match, Arsenal man of the man of the match is a difficult one because there's been a few good players. I think first half Kolasinac was brilliant on the left side of the midfield. He was pushed up quite high. He did very, very well going forward. Could have given it to him. Obviously, Aubameyang got the goal and got sent off for a tackle, which I don't think was worthy of one. David Luiz, I thought, did very well as well at the back. He commanded the back quite well through the game. It's unfortunate that he was deflection that went into the back of the net. But I'm going to give it to Maitland-Niles. Am I? Lacazette was alright. Pepe was alright. Ozil didn't really see him in the game. Xhaka, Torreira, Maitland-Niles, David Luiz, Socrates, Lennon. It's between Maitland-Niles, Kolasinac, and Aubameyang. Maitland-Niles did defend very, very well. He just wasn't there going forward. Kolasinac switched off for the goal. Aubameyang did get sent off. Okay, yeah, Maitland-Niles. I'm going to go to Maitland-Niles. Again, I think I discussed those reasons as my thinking whilst I was just thinking about who it was. Yeah, but yeah, I'll go to Maitland-Niles. I think he defended very, very well against a player who we were very interested in signing in Zaha. Kept him quiet all game. And, the goal didn't really come from him or his side. And I thought, yeah, I'm proud of him because he's had a lot of criticism. He's been sent off a couple of times. People saying he's not good enough to play for Arsenal. But he's put in a good few performances now, and we'll see what happens when Bellerin comes back as to what the future holds for Maitland-Niles. But yeah, end of the day, we take the point. After the sending off and going out to 10 men and still fighting, we'll take the point. But yeah, disappointed the way we conceded that goal. I think the main thing for me, sloppy from the free kick. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for watching.